Zenon hasn't picked a car yet, but there only should be one more space left, so it's all good. Who is not? Valtteri Bottas, so he'll be kicking Sauber.
Yeah, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SFR. Sorry about missing yesterday, but had important things going on. But we're back here in Division 1, and we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix here in Spa for round number 4, not 5, because we did miss a race, I think, at Silverstone when it was England versus Spain that night. And alongside me is Owen Mansell. And how are you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, all right, mate. We're back again. You haven't called me Owen Marshall this time. But yeah, I'm back again. Like you said, round 4, Spa-Francorchamps, one of the 3 tracks that got laser scanned. So it's literally specification Codemasters and EA can get. But yeah, looking forward to this race. All week it's been good racing, so yeah, full grid tonight. First time we've had a full grid this season in any of the divisions as well, which is awesome to see. OWR guys are back now, by the looks of it anyway. I'm guessing that holidays were event. Also SFR Oliver starting his season today as well.
Yeah, Oliver was supposed to start a race, I think, 2 weeks ago, but couldn't quite make it. And he said he was going to start one in Silverstone, but obviously it was cancelled due to the match in the Euros between England and Spain. We had a Div 2 race yesterday and Div 3 on Monday, and what a Div 2 race that was as well. Cassidy unfortunately picked up a 3-second time penalty in the early stages, but he was leading majority of the race. And that 3-second time penalty looked comfortable because he kept building that gap over Adams, Mansell, and MDJ. But when MDJ stomped to the field, overtook Adams, overtook Mansell, he closed the gap down on the last lap. Oh, who's that in the background? That's the Williams, who's all squirrely at the top of Lecom there. It's not called Lecom anymore. I can't remember what it's called, but for purposes, I'm going to call it Lecom's, because I don't really remember what the name is, but this is no name. That was Smithy, who went for a bit of excursion on the gravel there, so that's luckily his out lap, not his flying lap, but hopefully he can get rid of the debris on his tyres. But yeah, Cassidy in the Sauber. Calvin didn't really have a good race despite coming off a high, or low, shall I say, in the Hungarian Grand Prix due to the changeable conditions, which cost him the race in the end, because it was looking like it was him versus Burmeister, and I think Adams as well, who also had a bit of misfortune in that race too. But here in Belgium, the tyre strategy was different because we saw a few soft runners at the beginning, medium runners and hard runners. And now, Owen, you've had a race around here yesterday. What is your strategy preparation around this track?
So yesterday I did a soft medium. I did a practice race, like I said in the interviews yesterday with Oliver. I did a practice race earlier on, a soft mediums. Mediums were really comfortable for me. But yeah, so like you said, it's soft, medium, hard, so you're going to see all of that today. Obviously, the soft mediums and the medium hards are just basically pretty much all equal performance, let's say. So obviously softs will run as the quickest, but will lose where the quickest as well. But yeah, it's going to be mixed strategies here today. So yeah, obviously 20 drivers, so pretty much anything can happen today. As we've already got a retirement, Rose Smithy is out of qualifying. Well, we knew that anyway because he's actually got a qualifying ban. So that's obviously, so we knew that Smithy was going to start last on the grid anyway.
on board or off board with the Ferrari or Cluster. I don't really go on board a lot for those who are wondering why I stay off board all the time, because the game audio is very loud. It may not be loud on your stream, what you're hearing right now on YouTube, watching it back, or on the stream itself, live streaming, but when you go on board in game, it is really loud, especially the Ferrari engine. Because I was in the Sauber racing for my first ever league race on Sunday, and the Sauber, it was echoing, it was so loud. I was like, geez, this is quite loud, and it wasn't doing any good for the stream. I could barely hear myself talk either, so I don't want to make sure I'm shouting or not. But Klusler, who is on a lap time, I think he's also in Div 2. I think he is. I remember seeing him there.
Yes, he is. He's in a Red Bull.
Yeah, I thought he was. He's either RB
Yeah.
or Red Bull. But here is Klusler into the heavy braking zone of the bus stop chicane. We've seen plenty of crashes and overtaking. Goes deep in the first part, compromised in the second part, and this will be the first lap time on the board. It's going to be a 45.1. What was Paul yesterday, Oliver? Owen, sorry?
I think it was around a 43 something. I can't exactly remember because it was mixed conditions. It was wet at the start of qualifying and it dried up right at the end. But I think it was about I think it was a 43.6 or something was the qualifying time yesterday.
So a 44.2 then is on the board for the rest of them to beat, but this is Division 1, so they should ideally blitz that lap time. Then here's Hazara making his way downhill towards P1. I think it's flat out nowadays. And Safaikis goes to P1, a 42.9. So we've already beat a 43.6 there. And Safaikis, he made his debut back in Hungary. It looked like it was between him and Glock and Ramovac last week. Langfeld goes into P2, Alice Copo in P3, raced here yesterday too. Levente goes into P2 for his debut here in SFR, but Safaikis, he had internet connection issues, he had to double stack behind his teammates Spray and Pray, and also got compromised due to the wrong tyres at the end of the race. Same with Glock as well. It looked like it was a straight fight between Glock and Safaikis for the win, but the weather said otherwise, and we had a completely different top three than we thought that was planned. Here comes Azara, who retired at the Hungarian Grand Prix due to spinning out or making contact, and he goes to top, 42.6.
Come on, Aston Martin. Obviously, I'll be supporting the Aston Martins most of the season. Obviously, I'm with Aston Martin in Division 2. There is a combined standings in SFR with all three divisions working together in the constructors-wise for a combined standings. Aston Martin not doing amazingly like Division 2 at the moment, but I'm sure they'll get there. They're doing well at the moment.
So Harry Kane goes up into P4 with a bit of a break between his sim rig and holiday too. I think he had a 2-3 week break. He won the I think it was the Bahrain Grand Prix after taking a Hazara on due to penalties.
Yeah, so he's one of three winners so far. So obviously Harry Kane won, Laser won last week with that amazing strategy with the intermediates right at the end, and I can't remember who the third winner was. I might be Brabit. I'm not 100% sure.
It was Ramovac.
Ramovac, that was it. Yes, he's obviously leading the drivers' championship at the moment.
I did have a quick look at the championship. I was looking at the previous results as well. I got a lot of information right in front of me. I don't have a laptop anymore because it's broken. I used to make PowerPoints in every single league I was in. I PowerPoint after PowerPoint. Unfortunately, my laptop's broken, so all that time wasted on the PowerPoint is now gone, and I can't upload it on my phone because it's on a different account as well. So I've really screwed myself over. I should have put it on my phone as well to have the security and safety. But anyways, that's in the past. Oliver, who's on a laptop, I think, and he's currently on a 43.4, so he's about 6 tenths away. What have you seen?
No, that was an Alpine. I think just getting out of the way, he did just hit a polystyrene block. But I think, Lord Danny Boyle just getting out of the way of Ramovac. So, yeah, no damage done there.
And look who's back in the Red Bull, it's Berimi. So the two Norwegian boys who were in the Red Bull together last season, and I think Berimi replaced somebody in the Red Bull from Aston Martin to go up to the top team. And Ramovac goes quickest with a 42.4, so once again blistering pace from the Hungarian driver who was looking to win his home Grand Prix, but unfortunately the weather said no and he couldn't take his second consecutive win in Hungary like he did last season. But in the top once again, Safaikis, Hazara and Ramovac. Great top three we've seen battling last season. Glock as well in P20, who hasn't set a lot of time just yet. Can MDJ get involved in the action? They're great pace back in Division 2 yesterday. Finished in P2. He won the race actually because Casti had a 3-second time penalty. Then he finished P2 last week on Wednesday. So yeah, MDJ, ever since he downloaded the game, looks like he's back at the pace immediately, Owen.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is. So with that, what SFR has done, all the admins and obviously directors have now decided to give MDJ the full-time seat in the RB in Division 1. So he is basically officially back, MDJ.
Well, he said he would quit league racing. He doesn't have time for the game no more. Oh, Berimi has gone for a spin at the exit of the final corner. I think he got on the throttle way too early. And should he go back in the pit lane? No, he doesn't. He has to continue for a whole lap. So, unfortunately, Berimi there can't get a lap on the board. He has to stay P19 for the time being. It's Glock and Spray and Pray are on their outlet. Spray and Pray also had decent pace, but he picked up that 6-second time penalty, unfortunately, and he dropped him out the order too. So, let's see what he could do. He picked up that puncher at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and he didn't have a good race either at Bahrain, I think. So, yeah, Spray and Pray has been a bit of a downer lately, but hopefully he can find his form and rhythm and try and get less penalties. It's all about consistency around here. Cassidy, who looked like he was about to win the race, but that second stint on them soft compound tyres, MDJ was absolutely flying as well. Energy Dan, who finished in P8, he was up there in the top 3, but ever since he pitted on them soft compound tyres, never really charged forward, so that was quite unusual to say on them soft compound tyres. But yeah, it was a great race from Cassidy nevertheless, because he was struggling in the early season, but he's really stepped up his form. P3 still a great result. But at the end of the day, he wants to be winning because Sauber are in a really intense championship fight. And Cassidy and Calvin are a great lineup.
Yeah, I think officially, because obviously MDJ, as soon as MDJ took the win last night, he literally got promoted to Division 1 in the RB. So I think by the looks of things, he didn't actually officially finish P1. By the sounds of it, I think Cassidy did officially win the Grand Prix. I know that I obviously finished second, and I think that Adam's in third. So I think that was the results from yesterday. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait until the standings are updated, and we'll see then.
So we've got Spray and Pray still on his lap time, making his way down towards P1. Safikas, his own teammate in P4, also on a lap. Remember, great teamwork between the Haas's and Saubers recently, because we saw the Haas move out of the way for his faster teammate Safikas, and which allowed him to fight Glock, but unfortunately those two had the downfall towards the end with the weather. But also with McLaren too, where Hazara allowed Glock through. So great team orders there in play from both teams and Sauber as well. So 3 teams working well together. But Spray and Pray, what can he do in this qualifier session? We've still got Laser, who is also contending, Glock, who's also on a lap time too. I think both McLarens are in the third set. So one of them is making his way at the final corner. Let's see what he does. He's in the pit lane, is Laser. But here is Spray and Pray with the McLaren driver of Glock just in front of us. Where can Glock place that McLaren? He's going to go towards where'd he go? 5. He goes towards P5, and Spray plays 12th place.
Yeah, Laser at the moment he's not having actually a very good qualifying session. Even though he hasn't actually set a lap time, he's been invalidating his lap so far. About 9 minutes left. I think he literally just came out about 12-minute mark, but he invalidated his first lap, and obviously he was doing his second lap. Obviously, I'm guessing he didn't have a very good lap, so now he's come back in the pits.
Wow, what a lap time from Safikas, a 42.1. He had a bit of a moment out of the final corner. It looked like he was a bit all wobbly, but sorted himself out, and he's on pole by about 3/10 ahead of Ramavaj then. So the charge is on between the Greekman and the Hungarian and the Norwegian in P3. But Hazara finding 5/10 in the middle sector, but he just needs to find a bit more time to put a distance between himself and Safikas there, so he might snatch pole by a few hundreds, but we'll see. I think somebody else moved up the order. Is it Marston P7?
That was Levante. That was Levante. That's how you pronounce it. In the Aston Martin went up to P2.
So good results for Aston Martin so far, but where can Hazara put his car? Let's see that. Is he crossed the line right now? Oh, a 42.1, and that's a few hundreds quicker than Safikas there, so it's really close at the top on the time machines there. Predicted that really well.
Yeah, Aston Martin looking really strong in this qualifying section. Hopefully they'll carry on this form throughout the race.
This is looking really good so far in the qualifier session. We've got 5 minutes left to go, so 13 minutes gone. It doesn't even feel like 13 minutes. This qualifying session absolutely flies by as well. And Spa being one of the longest circuits on the calendar. Yeah, I said that right. I really messed that up there.
You did.
I usually get it the wrong way around, like calendar the circuits, but I really messed that up. I said it right the first time.
So Martin P7 just came through now. He didn't improve. He about half a tenth down on his time, so he stays in P7 at the moment.
Mones, I think he had a strong race back in the Hungarian Grand Prix. He was up there in P6, but I'm not quite sure what his end result is. Currently in P8 ahead of Sether, who we haven't mentioned in his qualifying session, but Sether is a newcomer as well, BRS. So he must be in the esports team with Mones there. And he's doing a great job so far in P9. And let's see, can he remain inside the top 10? Zeno, who was racing for Ferrari. What have you seen?
Both Ferraris are working together here. Cluster just gave the slipstream to. Oh no, sorry, I thought they were, but Oliver's actually on an outlap. I think Cluster was trying to give some slipstream to Oliver, but obviously he's still on an outlap. So I think something's going on here between Ferrari anyway, because they're both close together at the moment.
Klusler has just invalidated his lap at the exit of turn 7, then the top of the hill just went a bit too wide, and as a result ended up in a validation then. So unfortunately for him, that lap time does not count. And Levente in P3 is crawling back to the pit lane. He must have fueled the car for one lap only, and let's see how much time he's got left on the board, because it's a long track around here in Belgium. I think it's 7 kilometers long is the Belgian Grand Prix. And you can't afford to waste time around here, because it's not like Austria where it's a short circuit and you've got loads of time in your pocket. Monaco, Canada, Brazil, all them short tracks in Spain where you have multiple laps to go for it. But here it's minimum laps
left.
And there is 3 minutes left. So majority in the pit lane, and we'll wait to see who comes out first.
So Atlas Copo is currently on a lap at the moment. Obviously, also an RB. Is it? I think it's Red Bull. He's in Division 2. So I think we've only got 4 reserves as well in today. So yes, great attendance there from Division 1. 16 full-time drivers making it out today. So good attendance there from Division 1. So Atlas Copo is going to come towards the towards the third sector now. So what it is time going to be at the moment, he's currently about 3/10 up. So that will put him around about P9, P8 maybe, if he has a really good stop chicane. Will be very valuable, let's say, for him. So let's see what he does. Obviously, come through the bus stop chicane now. I think it is the slowest section in the whole track, and it comes across the line now, and it is P9 with a 43.1.
Atlas Copo, who was a former Div 1 driver himself last season, I believe. He was in the AlphaTauri alongside Dragon. Dragon is still not here, by the way, so hope to see him back soon, because he won the Qatar Grand Prix after an amazing drive on a one-stop strategy, and he made it work because Harry Kane was coming at him towards the end. The laser goes up into P6 then just ahead, and Berimi up into P7. There's his teammate behind. Now, this is a great opportunity for Harry Kane to pick up a decent toe off the back of his Red Bull teammates. Try and claim pole in the latter stages of qualifying. We've got every single driver out there except Zenum. Let's see what this qualifying has to show.
So someone in the comments has said there's no audio. I've just checked their stream. There is audio. So we've got no problems on our side. It must be on his side. But yeah, obviously now everyone on that outlet, what you just said.
I know what he's talking about, the way he's talking about. Oh, that's a very late move there from, I think it was Baby to get out of the way. But I know what he's talking about with no audio. So he's talking about the core audio. And I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, because somebody said that to me a few weeks ago. And I want to clarify that the core audio, when I put it on balanced, is the furthest I can go balanced. Because I usually have it towards the party audio where I can hear the cars less and hear hear the people talk in the background, or hear Owen talk in the background. And the car audios are really loud, and you may not hear it on the stream where it's really loud, but when you go on board, it's super loud. So that's why we have the audio shifted towards the party audio, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense to you. So basically what I'm trying to say is, on the stream it doesn't sound loud, but when you spectate it, it sounds really loud. Look at Harry Kane, 5/10 up, by the way.
Oliver's just invalidated his final lap, so that's going to be it for him in qualifying. It's P8 maximum for him.
Watch out for Harry Kane. He's coming through Blanchimont. I did see a purple middle sector. 5/10 up. Is this going to be enough? As every single driver is on the circuit except Cluster down in P18. Here we go. Harry Kane towards the bus at chicane now. In third gear. Back in the power as soon as the car straightened up. Here he is across the line. Is it pole? Yes, it is. It's a 42.1 for Harry Kane there. And he snatches it by about 700ths of a second. But Hazara improves the first set. Safaikis is on his final lap. Levente has a validator, unfortunately. Ramavach is coming towards the end of the first sector. These guys have left it really late, and Ramavaj is currently a few hundreds down in the first sector. In the Williams there, can he find more time? We're going to stick on board with Azara and Peter. I think he's one of the closest ones towards the line if we can find him. There we go then, making his way downhill.
Savaikas is literally on point with his previous lap at the moment, so he's currently not improving that much.
And here comes Hazara making his way through turn 14. Now let's see his intermediate split, and he is 2/10 up in the middle sector. That's a purple middle sector there for Hazara, so that might not be over yet for the Norwegian driver trying to claim that pole. And let's see then as we make our way now towards Blanchimont, a fast left-hander, fully flat out, unless of course in the rain when we saw Valtteri Bottas spin in 2018 and Kimi Raikkonen crashed there too. It's the bus stop chicane now where Rubens Barrichello smashed into the back of somebody there in 2010. And here we go at the final corner. DRS is enabled. Can he take pole away? And he can with a 41.8. He's back on pole. Savaikas, where is he?
Savaikas 1.5 tenths up at the moment.
It's not going to be enough though. No, it's not, because he needs to find more time in the last sector.
3 tenths up. It's going to be close to Ramavaj. Ramavaj might be close for pole at the moment. He comes through the bus stop chicane now, and it will be... He is on pole, 41.7. It's a great lap there from Ramavaj there.
And Savaikas is probably the only ones left now to try and take pole away. Here he is in the final corner. Can he take pole? He can't even improve his position, but he improves his time only by 1700ths of a second. Levente is out there somewhere, but unfortunately he's in the pit lane too, as he's validated his lap time then. So what a qualifying, and Ramavaj for the second consecutive time is on pole with a 41.7, a few hundreds quicker, or under a tenth quicker than Hazara.
That was a good end to qualifying there. About a 3, 4, 5-way battle for the for pole right at the end of Levente invalidated on literally the first corner, so he was out of it straight away. Harry Kane obviously getting that pole at the very beginning with, but then obviously Ramavaj snatching it away. So Ramavaj continuing with his form is on pole.
And there is your classifications then, as I turn the volume down for this part because it's really loud, the music. Ramavaj is on pole by under a tenth. 3 tenths back is Harry Kane on his return from his holiday. Savaikas once again, another great qualifying. Levente on his debut in P5. Seta in P6 on his debut in P6. A great job from both of them, debutants in Belgium. Later in 7th ahead of MDJ. Great qualifying inside the top 10. Glock in an unusual position in P9 ahead of Berimi Oliver in P11 ahead of Martin Melners 13th ahead of Atlas Copo. Disappointing qualifying, I dare say, from Spray and Pray. Usually see him up there, but this time he's in P15. Langfeld in 16th ahead of Zenum. London Boy 18th, Klusler 19th, and Rogue Smithy in last place. And now, Stalin says, or is it just me that does have no sound? Just refresh, click off this video, mate, and try and press it again. I've watched the stream. I'm watching the stream right now, and I can hear the audio, so it is fine on my end, and hopefully your end too. Just refresh it or something, or turn the volume up.
So now it's cooled down a little. There's a little break for us, and obviously the drivers. Drivers will be choosing their strategy now. We'll talk some driver transfers. So we got 4 driver transfers, obviously from last week. As we know, Savaikas, he's obviously at Haas. He made his debut last week in Hungary as well. So Savaikas is at Haas now. We got Levente in the Aston Martin, obviously making his debut today. So he's in the Aston Martin. MDJ, as I said earlier, he's in the RB. And Gernman, who was meant to be here today, but he wasn't responding literally 5 minutes before we got going. Gernman is now in the Alfa Romeo, replacing Brabbitt.
And Brabbitt, who is not here anymore due to his commitments on his future in terms of go-karting in real life. I think he's in the championship, the German championship, so good luck to Brabbitt. It was his birthday a few days ago, so happy birthday to him. He's a really nice guy. I've known him for a long time, since 2018 and 2019 when we used to race together, so good luck to Brabbitt. And he got a podium back in Saudi Arabia. I think it was his first podium too, so he picked up something after leaving here in SFR, but hope to see him return back. And he has got some great pace, because I remember him, he was struggling in the last games. He was like midfield pace every time he had a race, and all of a sudden he's caught up dramatically. So I'd love to see the progress that he's made, and it's really surprised me his pace, considering I used to beat him all the time, but now he's beating me. So at the same time jealous, but I'm happy and proud of him. But I really hope he comes back in SFR. He didn't leave because of the league. He left because of his commitments. He couldn't make it, and unfortunately, he had to do some training as well for his championship in go-karting series. And we'll see how he does there. But the championship in SFR looks like it's spicy now. Ramavaj is still leading, considering the result he had back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. There's the formation lap. We'll flip the tyres on for you while I read out the championship. A few soft runners there, so keep an eye on them. But Ramavaj is in first, ahead of Glock by 10 points. Laser is on the same points as Glock, so both McLarens are very close together. Hazara a bit further back after retiring at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Brabbit is in P5, same points from Langfeld to Smoke. 3 drivers have the same points, that's incredible. Hurricane, who missed a few races due to his holiday, but he's back here in Spa. Nordus, who is not here tonight, unfortunately, is P9 with 24 points. Spray and Pray in P10, 1 point away from Nordus. Modus is in P11 with 23 points to his name. Rogue Smithy in 12th. Savicus, 1 race this season, in 13th with 14 points ahead of Berimi, who hasn't showed up either since the Bahrain Grand Prix, but he's back after returning from his holiday. Lord Danny Boy, 15th ahead of Levy in 16th place. Oliver, 17th with no points. Liam and the guys who have returned. McLaren is currently leading the championship, as you expect, ahead of Williams, Red Bull in P3, and the gap between Williams and McLaren is about 9 points. So very close to the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull are currently in P3, being beaten by McLaren, and that may be said this season Formula 1 2 in 2024. Do you reckon, Owen?
Yeah. That's what we like to see. Close in the championship, close in on the obviously main races. Obviously, it's still early on. It's only round 4, but 23 races we'll be doing in Division 1. Obviously, we're missing that 1 race. There might be a schedule to rerun the British Grand Prix at some point. Maybe we'll see, but that'll be towards the end of the season. But yeah, like I said, looking forward to the rest of the season. With the now they've scanned this track, there is a few differences. As I know from yesterday's race, that final corner where Asara and Ramavaj just went, that's definitely a lot tighter than previous games, along with Eau Rouge and Radion. That's also tighter, and the hill definitely seems steeper as well. Those are the 2 main changes I've definitely figured out since racing last night, is that those 2 corners have definitely changed by quite a lot, let's say. So I don't think they will catch a lot of drivers out, but you never know. We'll see what happens. So obviously 1 Williams on pole, 1 Williams at the back. Down to you, Jamie.
20 drivers line up on the grid, and this time finally get a better camera and go 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are underway for the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's see who gets a better start. Ramavaj is ahead of Hazara. There's a crash in the background. There's a Mercedes off in the background, and the Red Bull goes down. Versus Hurricane, the 2 heavyweights in this league going side by side, but Hurricane gets ahead of Zora, who's on them hard compound tyres. Expect him to struggle. Now we climb towards Eau Rouge and Radion. We see a massive sleeper effect all the way down to Le Mans. We've seen on Sebastian Vettel on Lewis Hamilton in 2018, but here we go. Now the 2 Aston Martins in a battle. Ramavaj may get swamped to the straight. Here comes Hurricane, then side by side the route groups of 2 as we head down towards Le Mans. We're going wheel to wheel with all 4 of them here, and the Aston Martin is ahead of Hazara then on the soft compound tyres. Here comes Sita around the outside too. Can he also take on Azora, who's on the hard compound tyres? He will struggle now, but be rewarded later in the Grand Prix. We make our way downhill into the forge we go, and around the outside goes the Sauber, and he makes his move stick. So Hazara went from P2 to P5, but as expected.
Oh, Rogue Smithy gets a 10-second penalty for a corner cut in game 1 place. Obviously he's overtaken off track or somewhere else. So that's the first penalty of the day from Rogue Smithy. Harry Kane now takes the lead, going down that main straight. Ramavaj couldn't really do much because it is hard to defend that down that straight. But yeah, Ramavaj will just now be, well, I don't know what I mean by it, because it's only lap 1, so it's still a very long race to go, so still anything can happen. But Ramavaj really close to Harry Kane at the moment. He might make a move down to the bus stop chicane. He's very close here. I think he might actually go for an overtake. Yeah, they're side by side now. Otherwise, Harry Kane is now going to go defensively, which is going to force Ramavaj to go round the outside, which then becomes the inside for him. And Harry Kane is still there. Harry Kane gets a better exit, and I think Harry Kane will keep the place for now. DRS is now enabled. Obviously, Harry Kane getting the fastest lap now, so DRS now enabled. So Harry Kane will now struggle a bit defending this move up this. Oh, well, after Radion and Rouge. Let's see what happens.
Few changes in the midfield there with Rook with his proper place with Barry moves down into P11, but here we go, climbing up towards Oruge already on now. Ramavaj pulls out the station immediately, even before the DRS is enabled. Now they go to wheel, and Hurricane might get swamped to the straight. Here comes the Aston Martin of Levente. Now he takes on Ramavaj as we go down into the comp. Around the outside he goes. What a great loop. And here we are with the Sauber and the Aston Martin further back. That is Sita versus Azara, and Harry Kane gets a decent exit. He takes on P2. What a scrap! And here we go, going down into Ravage we go. Hazara's, oh, he's been spotted. He's been tagged, and luckily he stayed on the track there. I'm not quite sure who tagged him, but he's lost a few places, and then players just fall off the Haas there. They go wheel to wheel, and one of the McLarens is in the gravel. More contact too. We saw that with Zedam and MDJ, I think, in the last race.
Everywhere. Yeah, wings flying everywhere. That's Smithy. He's got some damage, 100%. Maybe Lasers. No, Lasers got away with that. So the only really front wing I can not see is Rogue Smithy. Maybe Bearimi. Bearimi, no, he's all right. I think it might be just Smithy losing his front wing.
Yeah, I think we just say a bit of tyre wear just flicker up in the air, a bit of rubber as well, because we've seen that plenty of times on this game. But yeah, what a great scrap going on into Lacombe, going down to Ravage, and now here we are through Blanchimon we go. Oliver's ahead of Spray and Pray, goes up into P12, and here we are going down into the Buster Chicane. Then no moves being made, but the Hazara
got damage as well. Yeah, Spray and Pray's got some damage as well, so that's why he's losing some time.
Hazara was looking up the inside of Sita, but Sita just stays ahead. Those two softwares are not really pulling away, but you can't really pull away, especially with the DRS being enabled early on lap 2, especially when you got the camera up straight too, to keep yourself in that DRS range. Spray and Pray, like you mentioned, has got damage, and unfortunately who's spun. I've seen him spun again in, well, I say again, this is the first time he spun, but he spun yesterday too, and the VSC's been deployed.
Yeah, so VSC, so Levente is pretty well saved from that VSC. Obviously by that I mean that he'll be able to keep this move, keep the P1 down, obviously the straight where they're on now, obviously with DRS disabled and VSC. But yeah, obviously Levente on the soft tyres. I'm expecting him to start losing some grip around about, well, in about 2 laps time now. Surprisingly, Smithy hasn't actually come into the pits, so he's staying out on that damaged front wing. As you can see, I don't know if you're with him or not, Jamie, but he's actually got quite a lot of damage there on his, what's that, on his left hand side, his right hand side, yes. So yeah, he's going to lose obviously a lot of front end downforce, obviously Laser down in P11 as well, so not a brilliant start from him either. Obviously he is on a hard compound tyres, but I'm sure we saw this last week. He didn't get a very good start, didn't have a very good qualifying, of course, didn't have a very good start, and now here he is down in P11 at the moment.
Yeah, last week he suffered in qualifying due to being on the wrong tyres at the wrong time, but that was Codemasters not working for him. But you can see Harry Kane there all over the back, the top 3 separated by under 3 tenths. Here comes Harry Kane through Blanchimon we go, and he takes the lead or not yet, but he's still side by side with him. And now we go down to Blanchimon. Does Harry Kane get ahead? Yes, he does, but the Williams is also looking in the background. That's Sita going up the inside too as we head down towards the Buster Chicane. Sita goes out wide, and he makes a bit of a mistake too, goes to the final corner. Ramavaj gets tagged. They both make contact with the rear right tyres, and now they go wheel to wheel on the straight once again with Hazara looking in the background. So here he is into turn 1. Hazara gets ahead of Ramavaj. Does he make his stick? Oh, they make contact, and Ramavaj is in the gravel like Lando Norris was at the start of the race. And I don't know why he tried to hang around the outside. He was going to lose a place inevitably. That's a great camera shot from where I was looking at Rouge and Radio. But here comes Levente now with Harry Kane. These two will constantly swap positions with the power of the DRS. Now he takes the lead of the Grand Prix away from Harry Kane once again. Plenty of changes there. Safarikis under pressure from Hazara as we go with the Williams there around the outside. Tries to go up the inside. That's an RB, sorry. That's MDJ now looking to join in this fight. The rest of the train has been brought in. But here we go then into the forge. That is Glock looking up the inside. Will he make his stick on MDJ? It's so close between the two. Glock looking to take advantage there, as you can see MDJ didn't get the best run out of Lacombe. But Glock can't make his stick, and he has to stay in P7 for the time being. This is really getting tense here at the Belgian Grand Prix. The slipstream effect all the way down to the Kemmel Straight towards Lacombe is very powerful.
Smithy with a 3-second penalty now, so he's now on 13-second penalty. He's now on 13 seconds worth of penalties. So that front wing damage not helping him at all. So this battle is going all the way from P1 down to about P12. Smithy is obviously starting to lose ground because obviously he's got that front wing damage there. So Oliver will try and get that move done down on Smithy as soon as possible because he don't want to be losing that time and DRS to the front runners, and he's obviously got that move done pretty much straight away as Laser also gets past there, Remy as well. And I think Harry Kane and Levinti pretty close to each other. You got Savaikas as well, side by side with Hazara. So again, they're going side by side. A bit of contact there between the two, but Hazara keeps that place for P4. Glock now gets the passes lap with a 146.6.
Wow, this is so close between all these guys. Usually in the first stint, you see these guys settle into a DRS train, but they're fighting left, right, and centre. Now you can see Harry Kane all over the back of the Aston Martin of Levante, who's his first race here in Belgium, finds himself under huge pressure, and let's see how he copes with it. Harry Kane then with the DRS, he'll fly by in the Red Bull, and here comes the Sauber and the Aston Martin. Are going to make it 3 abreast? Yes, they are. Seated there, trying to go up the inside of Harry Kane, but he can't quite make it stick. Now the Aston Martins are fighting with each other, and Levante just stays ahead, but Hazard gets a decent exit at the top of, I think it's Lacombe, as we go down to Rivage, and Hazard can't make the move, but Glock once again with MDJ. Here we go then, in the same corner as a lap ago, and Glock around the outside into No Name. What a great move there on the inside of MDJ, up to P6 after a dismal qualifying. Looks like he's got some decent race pace on his hands.
Yeah, good move there from Glock, now up to P6. Yeah, so not really anyone pulling away like Cassidy did. Obviously they're all sticking together, which we like to see. Glock trying to make some moves again on Savaikas, but not really working out. So at the moment just stuck in the DRS train, just trying to, you know, get into a rhythm now, and obviously see when the guys make mistakes. That's obviously from the driver's perspective, and Hazara is now going to, well, very close to his teammate in front of him. So the Aston Martin's not going down side by side towards bus stop chicane. Is Hazara going to go for a move? Obviously, Hazara on those 4 laps hard tyres compared to Levante's 4 laps on the soft tyres. Hazara gets that move done into P3.
However, further behind, Ramavaj and MDJ were fighting, and they made contact into the bus stop chicane in the final corner, and it looks like MDJ lost a bit of end play, but it wasn't. It was just a bit of debut flux in the air. The front wing, it looks like it's intact for the time being, but yeah, what great scraps going on here in the midfield as well. It's all so different with all the tyre strategies, the variables here in this Grand Prix. What strategy will work out the best towards the end? We'll find out. So Fikis is all over the back of the Aston Martin. Here comes Azara now, going wheel to wheel with the Sauber as we go down into Lacombe. Late on the brakes is Azara, and he moves himself up into P2. There's a back where he started in P2, and this should be a great battle between Hazara and Harry Kane. We've seen plenty of battles between those two in the past. Here comes the Haas Safakis using all the curve. He pushes Levente out wide, and he goes up into P4 then. So went on the grass to overtake there, which is legal. Gave him a bit of luck tap going into Rivage, and he's up into P4 now.
Yeah, so these soft runners, as I expected, like I said, around about lap 5, they're now starting to struggle a little bit. So that's Cedar losing a place, and also Levante losing another place now to Glock. So Glock now up to P5. So Glock is not messing about today. He wants to get good results today by the looks of his moves today. Let's say, obviously, round the outside against I think it was Ramavaj, and now Ramavaj getting a move done on Levante again. So Levante is not really struggling here on these soft compounds. I know Laser's right behind him as well. So Laser might get the move done now to bus stop chicane again. So we're seeing quite a lot of moves down to bus stop chicane. Smithy again with another 3-second penalty. Martin has retired.
Safety car.
So let's go safety car.
Guess what? It's really helped the likes of the sufferers, Sita and Levente. I expected so. Harry Kane picks himself up a 10-second time or two. What we saw with Dan at the British GP in Div 2, that really hurt him. Zena picks up a driving penalty for speeding under the safety car. Harry Kane's stuck in the pit lane, but he gets out once again. But that's really going to hurt Harry Kane's race now, and what will look like to be a fight for the lead is now going to be dropping all the way down due to that 10-second time penalty. So on the hard compound tyres, expected to go towards the end, but it's really helped the soft runners, Sita and Levente.
Right. Carry on. I thought Harry Kane was already on the hard time compound tyres, but he's not. He started on mediums. But obviously, with that's massive now to Harry Kane. 10-second penalty. Like I said, they've made it more harsher for speed in the pit lane. So 10 seconds now for Harry Kane. He's gonna just have to hope for another safety car, because just to get rid of that 10-second penalty, obviously he'll lose ground, but yeah, it's not good for Harry Kane at all.
It must feel so silly speeding in the pit lane with a safety car because you've got no reason to speed whatsoever. And picking up a penalty like that, a small mistake with big consequences, is really going to hurt your chances of winning or being on the podium, because the grid is so compact. And Rogue Smithy leaves once again, but hopefully he joins back. He did have internet connection issues last week in Hungary, and let's hope he can try and get himself back in. But yeah, the soft runners of Sita and Levente, they both started on the softs, really benefited because they were going backwards, especially Levente, but it's brought it back into play. On the hard compound tyres, you won't lose that time deficit towards the end. Those guys who are on the mediums and hard at the start won't be coming flying past them with the softs and mediums towards the end, so it's really helped those soft runners at the right time, I dare say.
Yeah, well, it pretty much helped everyone. Obviously, like you say, everyone on 0 laps of their tyres. I am expecting all these tyres to go to the end. Even the mediums. Mediums feel really good around here. I think I stopped around about lap 9 to go into my medium tyres to the end. So yeah, mediums can definitely last around here. They will struggle a little bit towards the end. Obviously, the harder compound tyres will be quick. But yeah, I'm expecting all these guys now to go towards the end. Obviously, the only person that's on the oldest tyres, obviously Clusser, 3 laps old hard tyres. But again, with him, I'm expecting him to go to the end as well. So I'm not expecting any more scheduled pit stops from these guys. This is just going to be the race now until the final corner on the final lap.
It'll be very interesting then. Cassidy, who was the race leader yesterday, got himself a 3-second penalty. He looked very comfortable at one stage, bringing the gap over 3 seconds into 4, nearly 5. So it looked like he had the pace to go with it. But here he is. Harry Kane is in the pit lane then. I think he's going to get rid of his 10-second penalty.
He's going to be right at the back then. He's going to be even behind Smithy. So a last to first challenge is on for Harry Kane. Let's see if he does it.
Might as well get rid of that 10-second penalty right now. Yes, he'll lose places, but at the same time we'll have to serve it after the race. So on the medium he goes, and let's see, can he make his way through the field? We've seen it before with Harry Kane chopping his way through the field, especially in Bahrain last season and also at Portimao. Once again, he's got his work cut out here in Belgium. Lord Daliboy has just rejoined behind him too in the Alpine, but we'll see then what's going to happen throughout the remainder of this race. The first safety cars came out in this race, and everybody is pitted to get rid of their tyres and put on a brand new set. We expect mediums and hards to go towards in the Grand Prix, but will the hard compound tyres be better? And therefore the likes of Savakis, Clark, Romovich, Levenche and MDJ overcome the medium compound tyres. We'll see towards the end if that works for them.
Yeah, like I said earlier, those hard tyres will definitely be the better tyre towards the end of the race. Obviously, at this point, the mediums will be the better tyre. But yeah, it's going to be interesting now for the rest of the race. Obviously, like I said, no more scheduled pit stops for these guys. Unless someone maybe wants to go from hard to softs at this rate now, medium to softs at this rate now. But like I said, I'm not expecting anyone to stop now. This is literally every position counts now for these guys, which is going to be entertaining for us, Jamie. But on the driver's point of view, if you're going to be the likes of Harry Kane, you just want to get those moves done very clean, which could be also nerve-wracking for him as well, because like I said, you don't want to make contact with these guys as well, because like I said, he's already lost positions with that penalty. That's cost him already. But at the same time, it will be nerve-wracking for him getting in those turns, because you don't actually. Well, I don't like going side by side because I am scared of making contact. But yeah, safety car in this lap now.
It is, so we're going to see some more racing action. One lap without the DRS, and the next lap the DRS will be enabled, and these medium runners then, we'll see, can they pull away from the hard runners, or will they be stuck in that big DRS train? And it's all about DRS tactics here. We've seen plenty of times. We saw DRS tactics with Perez and Albon back in 2019 when they were fighting for third place at the time. They both slowed down, and Albon overtook him on the grass with the DRS open as well. We've seen it plenty of times. With Lewis Hamilton, another example, in 2017, it wasn't DRS, it was lifting off at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion to get Sebastian Vettel even closer. They pull out his slipstream too early, and with the Mercedes power unit being better than the Ferrari, they're going side by side on the straight at the whole of it, and with the extra grudge the Mercedes had, stayed ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Then a year later, Sebastian Vettel got past him and took the lead of the race and won there at Belgium. And here we are, coming towards the final corner. Hazara then will lead the way. Lap 9 out of 22 with Sita getting a, not a good restart. He's 9/10 already away. It's important for him not to break the DRS train. Try and stick with Hazara, because if Hazara breaks this DRS train, he's able to pull away, and therefore P2 downwards will fight all the way through.
It's important for both Seba and Hazara. Hazara will want to, like he's doing now, get that 1 second, above 1 second, and do a Cassidy really. As soon as you're above that 1 second, you are basically out of the battle, let's say. So Hazara already over a second. Glock with a 3 second penalty. So that's not good for him. But yeah, this is a great start for Hazara. 1.4 now. He's cleared that 1 second by miles already. So Hazara on point to already pretty much winning this Grand Prix.
Can he keep that gap over 1 second, because Sita is not really bringing the gap down despite being on the same tyres as him. And you can see Savaikas there putting pressure on Sita too. So now Sita's out the DRS, so other guys will be desperately trying to get past him and try and bring that gap down. The Hose hard compound tyres will be slightly better than the mediums then, so will that advantage swing their way later on? And we'll see, can they catch him down. Hazara there in P1, not been in this particular spot for a while since the Bahrain Grand Prix, but he picked up a 3 second penalty on that day, which allowed Harry Kane to win. He really struggled at the Bahrain Grand Prix despite taking pole by a milestone and leading the whole race. But once again, the gap is extended. This gap is 1.8 seconds now, 1.9, so almost 2 seconds at the end of the first lap due to the safety car restart. So I think Savaikas and the rest of them looking to overtake Sita, try and make sure Hazara does not continue to extend that gap. DRS will be enabled on this lap, and Laser had a slight moment coming out of the Boston chicane. Red Bull almost spun, but here we go, going down into one. Laser looking to try and take on the Ferrari of Oliver, and these two had a bit of conflict last time they raced together in the Canadian Grand Prix, I think 2 seasons ago. But this time, can they keep it clean, going wheel to wheel in Eau Rouge and Radion? And Oliver backs out of it, knowing that there's no point going side by side through there. But is Savaikas close enough to make a move on Sita? No,
Savaikas not close enough. But yeah, that was a good move there from Oliver. You don't really want to be going side by side through Eau Rouge and Radion. Too risky, especially when the race has just restarted as well. It's still pretty much a long race to go. All that Oliver needs to do is just to make sure really that he's just with these guys and just pick up the places wherever someone makes a mistake. But he's actually made a bit of a mistake there going round that right hand corner. But like I said, as long as he's in 1 second, it shouldn't be a problem for him.
I think someone spun. Lord Danny Boy and Smithy both came to blows. Yeah, they both made contact at the top of turn 7.
Yeah, so they've both made contact. Smithy getting a 10-second penalty for causing a collision with him. So get the game blaming him. See what the stewards say about that.
Yeah, it looks like Rogue Smithy's winning the most penalty awards so far, and it's currently down to P19. Not been a good race for Smithy here at the Belgian Grand Prix, but you can see Ramavaj now putting Glock under pressure. Here we go. The overtake is available, but he's running quite low on the battery there. Is Ramavaj. You can see that Glock is also derating on the straight, trying to harvest some energy as we go down towards the Buster chicane, and Glock slightly breaks later. They go into the corner, which allows him to stay ahead of Ramavaj. But here we are, decent exit for both of them. You can see the DS enabled and overtake is available for him as we go down into turn 1. Can he make the move going up the inside into La Source? And Ramavaj there tapping the rear wing or the front wing there of Glock as they go side by side of the corner. And Glock stays ahead then And let's see if Ramiraj can get him on the straight with the DRS wide open. Looks like he's got some decent pace in the Williams. He wants to dispatch that McLaren as quickly as he can to make sure he stays for second and third as they're starting to pull away now. And look at the Aston Martin Levente making the three abreast there as we go down into Le Combe. Levente now up the inside of Glock. They make contact. He's off the track. It's Glock. And unfortunately, you have to rejoin. Let's see where he rejoins in P7, maybe P8 now, with MDJ coming at him. Laser now up into P5. Out of nowhere. And let's see, MDJ does get ahead of Glock.
Yeah, so Glock and Levente both made contact. Glock down to P8 now, so yeah, not great there from Glock. Harry Kane now up to P14. Obviously made a couple of positions. We're now at the halfway point, lap 11 of 22. But like you said, Laser doing brilliantly. Let's say now. He's been had a quite a bit of a quiet race. Well, not too quiet, but you know he's can't even talk now. He's I've got to say, he has stayed with these guys. There we go. And yeah, that was the important bit.
3 seconds is the gap between first and second. Both Red Bulls are swap places there, and Harry Kane moves himself up to P13. I would love to see what Harry Kane could have done if he didn't get that 10-second time penalty, because he was the original leader when the safety car came out, and now it's cost him in P13 there. And Hazara striking away once again around here in Belgium like he did last season too. The gap is 3.3 now between Sita and Hazara, and Savakis can't find a way past the Hungarian in front of him there. He's stuck behind him, and now with 5/10 close to him, can he use the DRS and overtake, try and get past? And once he does get past, can he bring the gap down? But however, Laser is on the back there. There's an Alpine who's spin that's low down the boy. Here comes Savakis on the Sauber, goes up the inside, and he goes into P3. Here comes Laser now up the inside of the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin's just lost 3 places there on the straight. He's fallen all the way down to P7, but still side by side with MDJ. And MDJ, can he sneak ahead? Levente trying to stick around the outside, carry the speed to the corner as we go down to Ravage now. And MDJ just gets ahead, and he does. So Levente's just lost 3 places there, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, he didn't have the DRS, and that was costly for him. Obviously, like you said, last 3 positions there for him. But yeah, that's the importance of the DRS, as Levente nearly loses it as well through that corner again. But yeah, that's the importance of DRS around here.
Glock looking for a way past, but the door is shut in his face at the final chicane. Looking to come back at Levente after they make contact going into Le Combe. They're both back together once again. And now Savakis has been released into P2. Can he bring the gap down? 3.7 is a lot to ask. And I think a Red Bull's just spun as Berimi in 16th place there. Or is it? I'm not quite sure if it is or not.
I'm not 100% sure who it was, to be fair. I think it was Berimi. I don't think it was external. I think it was Berimi because he was with his teammate Harry Kane. So yeah, a little bit of mistake there from Harry Kane's teammate.
Laser has just set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. He's sitting pretty in P4, looking for another podium of the season after claiming a win at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Can he be contention for a podium? The answer is yes, but what about a win? Maybe a stretch too far, depending on what the others do in P2 and P3. But here we go, climbing towards the Eau Rouge of Radion on the Camel Straight now. The Alpine spun once again. Levente gets a 3-second time penalty, and here comes Sita now with the overspeed, with the power of the DRS, puts himself back into second place. So despite Savakis overtaken, he can't find a way past. And also MDJ is fighting with Glock and Levente once again, and they're all scrapping away for P6 there. They broke the DRS train after making contact into Le Combe a few laps ago, so the rest of them are pulled away.
Yeah, something going on with Hazara's teammate. He is definitely struggling because he just lost pretty much 2 seconds within a lap. And so again, he didn't have DRS, so he just lost another 2 positions. So now he's P8 from where he was. I think P3, P4. Now down to P8. So now Oliver is the next victim of the 3-second time penalties.
2 retirements in this race. Smokesmithy is out along with Martin. Martin, who was looking for a podium, I think, back in the Belgian Grand Prix yesterday, but didn't quite have the pace either. He was up there in P2 and P3 fighting with Adam side by side into Le Combe, but just dropped backwards after that. Spray and pray. We haven't really talked about him. Here he is side by side with the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin keeps losing places there. I'm not quite sure if he's got any damage or not, but his pace has really went downhill, and he hasn't got any response to these guys And let's see what happens at the Buster chicane. Then again, so close there, spray and pray. Just a slight tap on the back of Glock, but nothing too serious then as we make our way out of the Buster chicane. Hazara still keeping that gap towards 3.7, a really comfortable buffer. But will the half runners come back towards him towards the end of the Grand Prix? Will there be another safety car to add to this race and spice things up? Wiping out Hazara's lead, but so far looking really comfortable at P1 as well. He's not making any mistakes like he did Bahrain when he dominated that race until he got that 3-second time penalty and Hazara won. But here he is, Safarkas then overtaking the Sauber once again. He puts himself up into P2. Here comes Laser now taking on the Sauber, and he's on the podium after where did he start? Let's have a look, shall we? With P7.
Yeah, now further back as well, we've got MDJ, Glock and Spray and Pray all battling for the position. Glock now up to P6, so these McLarens are making some moves in this later stage of this Grand Prix. Lap 14 we're now on, so this race has flown by. So yeah, and now Harry Kane now up to the top 10, now in P10, getting the overtake done on SFR Oliver.
So Levente gets his revenge on Spray and Pray. He puts himself back into P8 there. I'm not quite sure, who's that going wide? That's MDJ out of P1 going wide there. So he's lost a bit of time towards Glock and now under pressure from the Aston Martin. I don't think Levente is quite aggressive enough because he let those three relatively go easily, didn't he? I think he needs to be a bit more aggressive and get his elbows out.
Yeah, it is difficult when you haven't got the DRS. You can't really defend, especially on a straight like that. It's very difficult to defend. Like he couldn't really do much there, to be fair. But like, as long as he just stays in the DRS with these guys, he should be all right. But like we've seen so far, he's definitely struggling with this pace. Maybe it's hard to just not getting it in the groove of things at the moment. But yeah, he is currently with MDJ at the moment. So yeah, now he's got DRS, of course.
I know that Laser in P3 likes to work with people. He doesn't really fight too hard because we saw the Qatar Grand Prix where I think he was using Ramovaj as a DRS to protect himself against Hurricane at the time in Qatar because they were on older tyres and therefore Laser used Ramovaj to stay in his DRS, not fighting too hard. And I think, if I'm right, might be doing it again with Safarkas because Safarkas is starting to close in on Hazara and maybe bring along Laser too, keeping C3 at bay. And we see a move there between Levente and MDJ, and here comes the Haas. Spray and Pray around the outside. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. A bit of tap there from MDJ, but nevertheless, Spray and Pray's up to P8. Great move there from the Haas driver. And here comes the Aston Martin of Levente of the inside of Glock. And once again, these two in a battle for P6 and P7. Does he win? Yes, he does. He puts himself up into P6 there.
Yeah, so Levi is his name in Discord. Yeah, now it seems like he's getting more confident on these hard tyres, so he's definitely now picked up the pace a bit now. Now already half a second, now 6.5 tenths up on Glock. So yeah, Levi. Oh no, he's nearly lost a car there, but yeah, he's definitely more confident now on these tyres. Levi is.
Safarkas is slowly but surely pulling the gap down towards him and Hazara, but the problem is he's got a Laser behind him.
Harry Kane should be getting this move done. He's now up to P9, so Harry Kane really is pushing, obviously as expected. Oh well, no, MDJs are still there. They're side by side going into the bus stop chicane, so Harry Kane gets inside. MDJ should get the better exit, which he does. They both got DRS. Obviously, they're in one second with Spray and Pray. So Harry Kane not getting that move done, but Harry Kane doing well so far. Obviously, with that 10-second penalty, that's really cost them big time. But as long as he's with these guys. Yeah, he's trying to survive as much as possible. And Safarkas moving all the way down to P4. Like I said, the DRS is so powerful down that straight. You just can't defend. It's very difficult to defend. So yeah, Safarkas now out of that podium position.
And DJ back up the inside of Hurricane. Hurricane goes around the outside and stays at P9, and Glock just further ahead over to Levente. But yeah, I saw that Safarkas got absolutely swamped, and the Haas slides through the corner, and he stays on the track. Luckily, he was drifted to the corner with the rear brakes locking up. But look at that. You see the gap was 3 seconds a lap ago. Now it's 2.3 because that DRS is so powerful. It was 3 seconds at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion. Now it's 2.3. So what I'm thinking is, if these guys slingshot each other past like they've done last lap, they could bring the gap further down, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could do. Like I said, like you said, and like I've said many times already that DRS is so powerful around here. Just powerful on this game overall. If they work together, they can easily catch up to Hazara. At the moment, Cesar, Savicas, Laser, they all look like similar pace at the moment. So that will definitely help them if they are working together to chase down Hazara. Yeah, let's see if these guys can catch up to him.
I missed that first stint with all 12 of them in that big DRS train, but the safety car came out and a few people had a few squabbles and lost a few time, especially from P6 to P7 there. Ramavach is on his own in P5, he can't catch up, and the threat's not behind him either, so he's in a lonely race in P5 so far after dispatching Glock and Levente there, and spraying praise on the pressure from Hurricane too. But here is Sita on the straight. I think he's a bit too far back, the gap is about 5/10, but not going to make a move on Laser in P2. 5 laps left to go. Is Hazard going to be under pressure from the guys behind, or can he keep that gap over a second? Levente and Glock in a battle again, and Hurricane is spray and pray. Change places for P8 and P9, but it looks like a decent battle from these guys in P6 and P7. They both have a 3-second time penalty, so they're both on a level playing field fighting for position.
Yeah, this has turned out to be a good recovery by Hurricane, now up to P8. Like I said, he started P18 when the safety car came out. So yeah, good recovery so far from Hurricane. He's now got to try and catch up to Glock and Levi. Obviously, they've both got penalty as well. So basically a guarantee P6 for him if he doesn't overtake these two. Obviously depending on his penalty situation as well. I don't know what his track warnings are and all that at the moment. But look, Hurricane is very quick here today. He's already under a second of these two. As Levi's made a mistake, massive mistake, so that's an easy position there for Hurricane and Glock.
Yeah, big mistake out of Stavolo, and lost 3 places unfortunately, and he's just added to P9. So it looks like he's got some decent pace, but he's making the one too many mistakes. Is Levi in P9 there, and Sita once again applying the pressure on Laser. Hurricane Hazara has gained a bit of time on Laser and Sita there. The gap's gone up to 2.9 now, so it looks like he's still extending in front. Looks like he's comfortable so far, but can't be too comfortable. Laser though, one more warning for him, and that's the penalty, so we're going to be very careful. And here comes Sita up through Eau Rouge and Radion with the DRS enabled for him as we go on the Camel Straight. DRS enabled, and here comes Safarkas. Might take them both on. Here we go, there's Safarkas, a double move going on, and let's see if Safarkas is brave enough to go up the inside of the Saba now. Those two go wheel to wheel, but Safarkas there 2 places at once, and he moves himself up into P2.
You could just see how powerful DRS is there. It was about 3 seconds, and when they got to the end of that DRS of that straight, they gained literally about half a second on Hazara. That's how powerful the DRS is there. But yeah, like me and you said, they need to work together now to try and catch up to Hazara. Savicas, I'm expecting him to be now on the better tyre. Maybe the crossover point is about to happen around about now. Cesar seems to be struggling a little bit now. But yeah, let's see Savicas, now he's pretty much on the better tyre, can try and catch up to Hazara.
Yeah, Safarkas on their hardcore powered tyres can take them towards the end. They're very durable around here. And even in F1 2, where we saw George Russell and Fernando Alonso. Oh, this could be a safety car. Is it? Yeah, it is. Yes. A safety car has been deployed in the last few laps of this Grand Prix. And I think every single driver should dive into the pit lane to put a brand new set of softs.
Oh, I know what Klus has done there. He went wide on exit and gone into the gravel, and obviously spun the car, went straight into the wall. He's out.
So a safety car, like I said, about 8 laps to go, has been thrown into this race, and now we're going to see another twist and turn. Hazara's lead has been wiped out. Safarkas opens up P2. Can he close down Hazara? They're going to go on a set of soft compound tyres, and this should be very interesting towards the latter stages of this race. Stay tuned, everybody. There could be a massive drama towards the end, and Sita is on a brand new set of mediums, interestingly, even though there's 3 laps left to go. Maybe he used all of his set of softs in qualifying, hence why he's on the mediums now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would say as well, is that he ran out of soft compound tyres. Yeah, a couple of guys on medium tyres, to be fair. Even Levi as well in P9, he's also on the medium compound tyres. But yeah, and pretty much everyone on soft compound tyres now. It's the guys with the penalties as well. They're not going to be happy with the safety car either, because a 3-second penalty could be massive with a safety car this late on.
I tell you what, Harry Kane's done a good job so far. This safety car has brought him into play in P6, but he's done a fantastic job so far. Has the Norwegian driver from P18 to P6. Shame SFR Martin had an error. He had the pace to win, says the Speed 4 Racing admin there.
I wonder who that is. I don't actually know if it's Sonic or Martin, or I know it's definitely not Dan. But yeah, it could be one of them two. I'd imagine it might be. Oh no, I think it might actually be both of them. To be fair, because I know Sonic uses the account more than pretty much everyone else. But I'd imagine that's probably mine that's brought that comment there. But yeah, I'm expecting. Well, we've seen already. I think Harry Kane is definitely the quickest guy around here today. Obviously, Hazara did well on that stint on those medium tyres, but this has definitely helped Harry Kane again from early on with that 10-second penalty. Obviously leading the race, and he got that 10-second penalty. He's then obviously taken that off with pitting again, which then put him back at the field. He's gained some moves, now got back up to P6 again, and again this is another opportunity for him to finish on the podium. Is probably going to be a good result for him, but for an amazing result for him would obviously be winning this race. But yeah, we're not going to get many racing laps at all now.
Maybe about 2, maybe DRS, maybe enable for 1 more lap. It all depends if Lord Boy can catch, but the safety car will stay out for 1 more lap. So lap 21 is when we're going to see some racing action, and 1 lap of DRS, I think. Is that right?
Yes, if it is it should be in next lap, well, lap 20, so lap B21 will be definitely going racing, and then obviously, so we'll only have 1 lap of DRS, basically, which obviously will be the final lap. Actually, no, it's lap 20, so we'll only have 1 lap of DRS, so it's going to be quite a hectic one, I'm going to say. Obviously, people are going to be trying to make erratic moves. Hopefully it will work for them, but that's just how racing works, really. With the safety car coming out this late, it's going to be I'm expecting a bit of a chaotic restart now.
The safety car in Hungary changed a lot of things during that race with the wet conditions, and also people pit onto inters who fell down to 12th, 13th, 14th, went on to become the top 3 in this race, but not as quite dramatic as that, as they're all on the same tyres roughly, except Citra and Levi in P9 and P3. Do you know what? I think I know why they're on the medium compound tyres, because they started with a soft compound tyre. Maybe they don't have that extra set left to use, so they got to use that medium. That's why those two there are the people who are not so
you only have 3 sets of brand new soft compound tyres throughout qualifying and this race. You normally use 2 sets in qualifying and then leave a set for the Grand Prix. That's obviously if you've chosen your tyre allocation to be on balance. If you are on soft, the softer choice of tyres, you'll get 4 sets of soft compound tyres, but I think most guys, depending on the track of course, most guys will go balanced. So I think that's the reason for Sever and Levi's tyre choice, because obviously they've already used all 3 sets of those soft compound tyres. So obviously they've only had 1 set of medium compound tyres remaining. Obviously when you're on balance as well, you get 2 sets of medium compound tyres and obviously 1 set of hard compound tyre as well. So that's the reason there.
Hazara is looking for his first win of the season after missing out on Bahrain due to a 3-second penalty. Safakis is looking for his first podium of the season after missing out due to the wet conditions. The safety car is in at the end of the lap. The top 3 haven't won a race this season. Laser has won a race in Hungary. Summers Ramavaj as well in P5, and Harry Kane as well. So 4th, 5th and 6th have won the first 3 races, but the top 3 haven't been on the top step just yet. But who will? Seta in P3 won't have the advantage of tyres, so he might get swamped from the guys behind on those soft compound tyres, so his podium chances might be dissipating now. And 1 lap of racing or 2 with the DRS enabled on the last lap, this should be hectic. And also Hazara had the pace. Will he break it again?
Hazara needs to do exactly the same what he did on the last safety car restart. Get a good launch, break that 1 second barrier as soon as he can. It's going to be more difficult because obviously everyone's on the soft compound tyres now. But yeah, let's see when he goes.
So here he is then towards the Buster chicane. Usually go towards the final corner because you go to pick up the throttle and very easy to lose the car. But look at the launch she has. Of course, the bike is snapping there. And the gap is 9/10, 1 second already. There's a spinner in the background, almost spun. That's Levi in P10. Lost the car on traction there. Allowed Oliver Milners to go through. So he's lost 2 places, maybe 3 now, maybe trying to get 1 back. He's went down the inside of Oliver. But the gap is already 1 second there, so that's not great news whatsoever for Safarkas. He needs to get himself back in DRS range, but Hazara is pulling away. Somebody in the background is about to go side by side into Eau Rouge and Radio. Looks like it was Oliver. Langfall has picked up 3 second tablet. Laser is ahead of Sether for P4 there. He's on the podium as we go towards the final, as we go towards the com now. Safarkas is 8/10, but if he wants to win.
Yeah, as Daniel said, nice quality wide line there to obviously get that great launch. He went wide for that final corner to get that amazing exit, which obviously helped him with that 9/10 of a second there. So yeah, that's a great tactic there from Hazara to get that launch. Well, completely the right call there from Hazara. Obviously 1.3 seconds is now the gap.
Hurricane and Glock in a battle, but Glock stays ahead of Hurricane. But it looks like Safarkas has got to watch out for Laser and potentially Setter because Glock's got 3 second stability. But we've seen the power of the DRS. It is 6 seconds. We've seen the power of the DRS being so strong on the straight. Safarkas could get out dragged again on that straight like he did a few laps ago, but got it back immediately afterwards as we go towards Blanchimont. The gap is 1.8 then, so Hazara not under pressure anymore unless he gets the 3 second stability, which we will be under pressure as we go down towards the Buster chicane. The DRS is enabled on the next lap, and Safarkas could be in massive trouble with Laser because he's potentially the DRS leader of this train. No DRS on the main straight there as we go down towards the source, but it's very critical for Safarkas to get a decent exit because of Laser all at the back of him. Setter might be a bit too far back now, being 1 second behind. So Safarkas and Laser, the battle is for P2, and let's see which one of them will finish in P2 as we climb towards Eau Rouge and Radion. And as you can see, Safarkas harvested a bit of energy, but we'll use it all now on the straight because Laser with the DRS is coming at him at a rate of knots, pulls the right side, and he takes P2 away there. Safarkas didn't really put up too much of a fight there, and he stays in P3.
Yeah, that's the issue. DRS too powerful. He couldn't do anything there. So Laser now up to P2, like you said. Harry Kane actually lost some positions there. He's now down to P7. Obviously, he'll get that P6 with Cox's penalty. But yeah, Harry Kane, P7. I was expecting him to be gaining some positions, not losing them.
Yeah, same here, but he was up to P6 before the pit stops, but now he's down to P7 with spray and play all over the back of him. Just a bit too far back. But Hazara, he missed out on a win due to a 3 second stability. He was a reserve driver last season in SFR. He was the leader and the winner of the reserve drivers in the points, and now he's full time, looking to take on the likes of Romovage, Glock, I think as well Harry Kane in the championship fight, and you can see the victory in his sights very soon in the Aston Martin. He gained a lot of points with people in the constructors last season after some disadvantage due to missing out on full-time drivers. Harry Kane, it looks like he's on the back of Glock in towards the Buster chicane, but the spotlight goes towards Harry Kane. Hazara, as we make our way towards the final 2 corners, he can see the checker flags, and for the first time this season, Hazara wins the Belgian Grand Prix, becomes the 4th different winner this season. Glock has spun at the final corner, drops himself into P13 with the penalties he has. Safarkas on the podium for the first time. Another great podium there for Laser in P2. And what a fantastic race this was, especially in the first stint where all the drivers were fighting so hard and the safety car came out and split them up.
Yeah, great. That was a great tactic there from Hazara to get that launch like he did. Yeah, that was important there for him. And then obviously he brought that DRS literally straight away. Yeah, it's a great win there from Hazara.
Finally got a race win after after spinning in Saudi Arabia and also making contact also with the wall. It wasn't him. I'm trying to think now. I'm not even thinking. I'm just saying things for no reason. But Hazara retired at the Hungarian Grand Prix due to making contact with somebody in somebody else's incident. But he's back here in Spa with a victory, and he's going to be finally happy that he's got a win because he looked like he was lacking pace in the last few races, but now he's shown what he could do. Really stepped up the mark and looks like he'll be on course for a championship challenge. Harry Kane, not the return he wants, lucky to try and be on the podium or a race win, but that 10-second penalty was the downfall of his race, and therefore he dropped all the way back, but still made his way through to P7 in the end. And Glock and Harry Kane made contact in the final two corners, hence why we see that spin from Glock. Romavaj, not the race he would have wanted. He was quite lonely, in all honesty, in that race out there. But hopefully he can come back in the next few races, because he's a championship leader, but for how long?
Yeah, that's the question. Obviously, like you said, fourth different runner in the fourth race of the season. So this championship is turning out to be a good one. And for you as well, Jamie, I've invited all three into the interviews as well.
Damn. Thank you very much, mate. I was about to do that, but yeah, I appreciate that. So we're just waiting for Safarkas, Hazara, and Lazy to join the party. Not spoken to someone from Greece for a long time. Remember the GFO boys been around for a long time, Sebastian and Leclerc, GFO Lec and GFO Seb, and all the other GFOs that I've came into contact with. But yeah, it'll be the first time since a long time since I've spoken to someone from Greece, so it should be exciting. But hopefully we can get Safarkas in the podium interviews and kickstart the interview as we wait for the three drivers to join in the party. Lasers here, so we'll wait for Safarkas because we go from P3 upwards. So we'll just wait for the Haas drivers to join. It's Haas's, I think it's second podium or first podium of the season, because arguably they should have been up there in Hungary, but the rain came at the wrong time for them. And Spray and Pray picked himself up a puncher during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and they were nowhere in Bahrain. So it's their first podium of the season for Haas. Looking very strong as that team, although Spray and Pray did have a difficult race. I'll tag Safarkas and Hazara. Hazara usually joins these interviews. We've heard plenty from him in the past before as a reserve driver. So just give those two a tag. Hazara's here, and we're just waiting for GFO Nikos, as it says in his Discord chat. Give him a few more minutes or so. I just tagged him in the Discord server, so hopefully he does respond and we can get him in. Otherwise, it made my job a lot easier by talking to two people only. If he joins, and we can interview him. So we're going to start with Laser in P2. So Laser, you had great pace today, mate, and were you expecting the podium at all today?
To be honest, my qualifier was horrific. I knew I left a lot on the table. Like, I could do a 42.0, 42.1s in practice, 42.2s, but for some reason I did a shit lap today. But I knew I had a pace for it, but after starting 10th I didn't, and especially after first safety car I never thought I'd be able to catch them up, but it turned out I managed to pass everyone, catch up to second and third. Then the safety car came out just as I dropped to the back of that train, and then I managed to pick them both off. So yeah, crazy race.
When that safety car came out towards the last stages, did you think that a bit should be on, or was it just too far you grasped?
Well, no, I honestly thought I'd been happy with third at that point, because I knew there were two cars in between me and first. I didn't even think I'd get second. I thought P3 would have been my best, so I'd take second.
It's two strong races for you in a row after Saudi Arabia. So do you think that your pace this season is much better and you can start challenging for regular podiums and wins now?
Yeah, I do. I just really need to sort my quality out, because yeah, that's been dragging me down a lot last two races.
Also last season as well, because I remember you not having the best qualifying and therefore you were disadvantaged in the race then. So what is it about qualifying? Do you struggle with the one lap pace? Is there a lot of pressure? Is it easy to make a mistake with the car?
Yeah, even that, like every single practice session, right, I don't think I got anything worse than 42.3. Even though my worst run in qualifying. Today I did a 42.8. I lost 4.5 tenths on the last corner, I think, and some other places as well, but I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to sort it out.
You made your way through MDJ, and remember, you were down into P7 at one point, but there was a bit of contact in front of you, and that really helped you get your way through as well, and I think you gained 2 or 3 places at once, so that really helped you boost your way towards the podium.
Yeah, definitely. I remember losing part of my wing at one point as well. I think it was on MDJ or Ramiraj, when they just collided ahead. But I think you mean all at top of turn 3, intersect 1, if that's what you mean, with Glock and that.
Yes, yeah, Lacombe, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite lucky because obviously Glock went off, I got past him, and then I think Ramvaj was compromised in that exit, so I got him as well. So, yeah.
And also, you're not too far behind in the championship. You'll overtake your teammate Glock because you were actually tied heading into this race, and you could be very close to Ramavaj, if not overtaking him, depending what the point system is like here. Hazaro's not too far behind, though, so he could leapfrog you in the championship himself. But are you thinking about the championship fight, or is it a bit too early to say? Are you just taking one race at a time?
I would like to win the championship, but it's too early to say at the moment. Like, at the moment, I'm doing one race at a time. I think about mid-season, if I'm still, let's say I'm still up here, then mid to late season, I'll start thinking about it, but not yet.
And what are your thoughts about the Bathurst Grand Prix next week on Tuesday?
Which one did you say, sorry?
The Australian Grand Prix next Tuesday in Melbourne. How are you feeling for that?
No, I don't really like the track too much, so I'll have to see what I can do. But I need a good quality, so I think my race pace will be okay. It's normally like that, so we'll have to see.
Right, thank you very much, mate. Nice to see you back on the podium for the second time in a row. And Owen, you got any questions for Laser?
No, mate. Just again, very good podium for you. Yeah, just good luck for Melbourne.
Cheers, mate.
So here we go then, with the race winner of Hazara. Hazara, after 3 attempts, you finally win the race here in Belgium then. So it was a difficult race for you back at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I did say to Owen that I bet Hazara wished he stayed at that Grand Prix because there was 2 safety cars during that moment. Did you know that there was 2 safety cars when did you watch the stream, or did you quit?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good race, but yeah, obviously I could have done without the last safety car, but yeah, managed to get a good restart both times and managed to get out of the DRS. So it was really smooth sailing from there. But yeah, I was a bit worried, of course.
And that last safety car, did you think that you'd be in any danger to the lead because the guys behind you were on the same tyres and your lead had been wiped out? So were you nervous about the last few laps of that race?
I wouldn't say nervous, just a bit. I had to wake up again because I was just driving my own race, not really thinking, just waiting for it to be over, and then all of a sudden, safety car, and you have to win the race again. So yeah, I just tried to do that, and it worked out. I managed to catch them by surprise on both restarts, I think. So that was good.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race from you today. You dropped a few places at the start down to P5 with the soft and medium runners getting ahead of you. So, did you think that would be a struggle from there in the first stint?
Well, the pace wasn't that high at the front, so I could really stay with them, and I managed to overtake some guys, and then got in an incident. I think I got in a small incident with Ramavaj, and then I dropped back a bit. But other than that, I wasn't really worried. It was okay. I didn't really know what was the best strategy because I don't really do too much practice for this this entire game. But I did like 10 laps on the hards, and it felt fine. So that's what I went for. But some people said it was medium soft, so I was a bit puzzled at that point. But yeah, I don't think there is that much difference between the tires, except for the first few laps, maybe.
And in the championship as well, you close in on Ramavaj. Do you think throughout this whole season that the championship will be really close between you guys, all of you, because there's multiple contenders here, such as Laser, Ramavaj, Savikas now being his pace, Glock, MDJ potentially, and apologies if I miss any names, but do you think he's going to be like very close?
I think so, yeah. I think the point system here is very... I mean, you don't gain a lot of points if you win, let's say, as opposed to second place. So I think is really hard to pull away unless you win every race, which is really really hard. So yeah, I think it would be close. I was a bit unlucky last race, and then I didn't have the patience to finish the race, which obviously cost you a lot of points. But it will be close. I'll try to actually finish the season, like actually drive every race, but we'll see.
And in the first few races of the season, we did see you struggled a lot with the car. You were fighting with the rears a lot, constantly battling with the car rather than fighting on the track itself. So, looks like you've got you've got some big potential. And have you really sorted yourself out now? Have you found the grips with the car? Are you more suited to it now?
Not really. I mean, I drove this track a lot in the on time trial before the patch because I had to get into PSGL, but so that's why I had some inherent pace on this track. But other than that, I really don't think I've driven more than like 6 or 7 tracks on this game. So Australia, I've actually driven a bit, but not more than I think 5 laps, 10 laps maybe. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think I figured anything out, to be honest, and because I don't really play the game, I just do races, to be honest. And this week I did 10 laps of practice, which is quite a bit, but other than that, I just don't have any patience to play this game, to be honest. So we'll see how it goes. I try my best.
Well, thank you, Hazara, and we'll see how it goes for your future in the championship, along with Laser, Hurricane, Glock, Romovaj, MDJ, potentially Sapphicus and Sether as well with his great pace, and Levi. But Owen, you got any questions for Nigel? Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Nigel.
Hazara.
Nigel Mansell. Call me Nigel Mansell from now. Thanks.
Sorry. No, I actually haven't. Again, you do ask a lot of questions. I've got to say, Jamie. But that's not a bad thing. Yeah, no. Again, a good race again, Hazara. I think that tactical move you did, like the qualifying move for that last stint on the qualifying, was very important for you. Obviously, breaking that DRS was about that 1 second straight away was important for you for that win. But yeah, no, a good race for you again, Hazara. Good luck for Melbourne.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, so we round off the Belgian Grand Prix. We move to Australia for the 3 divisions next week on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Join us back at 7:30 for Melbourne, and we'll see what happens there. 3 DRS zones around the track, a really long straight in the middle sector.
4 DRS.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself it was 4, but yeah, you are correct. It's 4 DRS zones around there, so you should be really interested. So we'll see you all next week, and goodbye for now, and enjoy the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend for F1.